What's going on, guys? Living here. I'm going to show you guys a 72-7 gameplay that I had on Nivelle Nights. So still grinding out this map, of course. Pretty cool map. Very different than, like I said, all the other maps previously that I've talked about before in my other videos. This is definitely more of a trench type of gameplay, you definitely could say. So this is a little bit of a different, probably like way to play these maps than you would play all the other maps, so I'm still kind of learning how to do that. Of course, I'm gonna push immediately the Trench Raider kit right when I start off. This is the first time I actually saw them kind of push me a little bit harder over here. Normally, again, people are still not pushing this kit, but this is the first time they actually did push it, and I'm not even sure they were even gonna push it that much. I saw that one guy, that scout class moving across, and I was getting a little trigger happy about taking him out, but teammates ended up seeing me here. You got to be careful when you're on the spot right here on the side. There's a nice little divot right here where I get stuck on almost every time when I'm right here, so just kind of be careful about that. The only way I could get out was moving up, but fortunately it was a good call to move up there because that allowed me to take out his teammate that was right around the corner, so that worked out well. But yeah, again, I've not seen a lot of people still push that. I'm still a little shocked behind people not doing that, especially with the recycle rate of this weapon. When you die, it spawns in 3 minutes. So previously, before with a 5-minute spawn, now it's 3 minutes, and really you could spawn back in the game, do a little, damage of whatever you want to do really quick, and then go back and grab it. I'm still trying to find that balance in between the grabbing it and because you don't want to hover around it. That's why you want to know the time cycle, because you don't want to be sticking around there hovering and kind of waiting for it when you could be helping your teammates out. My little series I think I went on this game, I think I probably was probably a little too early on it, so I want to get that time a little bit more down, a little bit better. Again, I see the time on the clock. I just forget when I come in. I always forget. I see the time. I'm like, okay, it's I spawned at 7:52. I have 3 minutes, so it's gonna spawn at 10:52. But I always seem to remember the 10 part, but I can't remember the seconds part. So, so yeah, that's just one of those things you just kind of want to do, because you don't want to waste your time being around it when you don't need to. You don't need to be around it. But definitely something you still want to, even if you do waste a little bit of time. I mean, it's only 3 minutes, so I mean, it's not going to kill you. So, it's definitely something that's, even if you waste a little bit of time on it, it's still going to be worth the grab if you know how to use it right. So, so yeah, I'm going to go help my team grab that over there by D. As you can see, we kind of start with not a lot of players, so that was a little bit unfortunate. So we have a little bit of a slow start here. It's been. It fills up here a little bit later, but it's been, especially when you come out of those, games and, you're recycling through new players. Sometimes it's just, you don't have enough players. So a little bit of a slow start. And as you can see, I see the Flame Trooper kit running around over there. Don't want to get caught with that. Fortunately, he just runs out. But like I said, I'm still learning some things on the map. So you will see here on C here, they're going to spawn across on the opposite side. And I'm sitting here quietly just kind of waiting to see if I can hear their footsteps. So I'm still kind of getting an idea where their spawns are at, adjacent to the actual home spawns. So just remember that the spawns are always different to the spawns that you're going to be spawned at your home spawn. So what I mean by that is, if you spawn on for the German side of the team and you're on any territory you're capping, they're always going to spawn in these different areas than, let's say, you would spawn for the French side. Obviously, that should be a kind of a given. But sometimes I just gotta kind of remember where they're coming at. I can kind of get them confused between the two. So, like I said, still learn, a learning process. But it's nice, you got a new map here for a whole month where I can grind out and discover and learn all the things till we got our next map coming up here in the month. So this one was a heartbreaker. I was just like, this is the hard part. A little bit of the map that I don't like. It's just I'm not too fond of like dark map. It's aesthetically awesome. Don't get me wrong, it's an amazing looking map. It's a new map too, there's nothing to complain about. So but I've always never been really a big fan of having like dark maps, because it's hard for me to see people. I think it looks great though, so I mean, at the end of the day, it's still a fun map to play. But that was a situation right there why I don't like, because I saw one guy there's 3 other dudes right there, and you would think it's pretty clear for me to see them, but when you're in game, everything's always different when you're in game. Now that I look at him now, I'm like, man, I could see that clear as day. That was easily the 3 guys there. Why couldn't I see that? But like I said, in game, for some reason, this doesn't look like that. So a little bit of a downfall there. But again, I died there somewhere in the 4-minute mark. I know it's going to spawn here at 7. So I'm just going to keep a heads up for that. I'm counting that down. Unfortunately, I get caught out there a little bit out there in the open. I do know it at that spawn part right there on B that they're going to spawn usually, I think, right there in the front. If they're trying to cap B on you and they have B and you spawn where B is at, as you see, our home team spawns right out over there. They're going to spawn usually out there in the front there. Now, of course, they were just pushing from D. That's why they were coming there at that specific instance. But normally, I've been kind of noticing, I think the spawns are coming out there in the front. So there's something I'm going to still kind of watch out for. So you see we got a cavalry class over here. It's pretty interesting too to think I think there's only one cavalry class per team that you can have in the field. I'm pretty sure. I think that's all I've been experiencing, which is kind of nice for me because I don't normally play cavalry classes. So you'd be surprised a little bit how a cavalry class can kind of be your worst nightmare, especially when you have an elite class. You know, one little swipe from their sword or they'll run you over and you're done for. So, but I am kind of stoked to kind of check out the new update, what they're gonna do with the cavalry class. I think I didn't get onto it as much just because it was kind of hard to handle. So to see how they would change up the physics of it, and just just try out the new spear and whatnot, I think it's gonna be pretty cool. So still a pretty legit class. I see a lot of people do use that class a lot to try to try to do things. And I'll see people you'll see the guy in game who's trying to cap if your team's getting destroyed and someone on your team will grab the cavalry class and run across the map with it to try to cap the enemy base because they know they have that class and they know that that with the extra health they should be able to grab it and do it. So that's definitely a class that can be used. I've seen a lot of people use it well. Not my forte, not the class I use the most or really at all. Actually, it's one of my least used classes, but it's something that's worth trying out. Give it a second chance. So now you see I'm conveniently over here because we pushed up, and again I'm a little bit early. See, it's right a little bit before the 7-minute mark, so I'm showing here. So again, getting that timing down a little bit more. I mean, it's not really going to. I mean, they're capping D right now, so I mean I could go push in. It's kind of one of those tough situations where you're at. But I've been playing a lot more conservative, trying to grab it lately. So we'll see how well it works out. If I feel like it needs to, if it's not worth it or not. But this one case isn't too bad, so. Be able to grab it, not too bad. I mean, I think it's more worse if it's if they're about to cap D, because that's what makes it tough then, because then you got to go in already completely cap D. They only have it half capped, so it's not too bad. Throw a grenade in there because that's what it seems like people are. Seems like people are really just enjoying hanging out right around that area right there. I've been throwing a lot of dynamite sticks right in this area where people are hiding out, just mainly because it's in the dark and it's all night and you can't really see them really well. So. But I've also seen a lot of people who are getting on top of it as well too. I just kind of experienced that of what it's like to get on top of it. I have a pretty funny video. This is a quick 30-second video. In my previous video where I called death from above, where I'm up top dropping dynamite on a whole team that's below me. Luckily, I had a flare gun. I'm not sure if the flare gun or if it was a spot. That little light that they shoot up in the air. Is a little mechanic you can have in game where you can shoot up a flare and have light and have everyone. You can see everyone on your mini map as well too. But yeah, I don't know which one it was, but I was able to see everyone there and drop a bunch of dynamite. So that was pretty cool. So as you can see, I get caught out there again. I'm just moving back. Especially I know too. The reason why I'm doing this as well too. I'm playing ultra reserve. Mode right here where I'm trying to move back in a little bit, not trying to stretch it because I didn't have much of a team. So because of that, I was like, oh, I want to try to use this kit as much as I can, because it's one thing I do know is whenever I have a bad team or if I don't have enough players on my team, I really want to grab this kit because I played a lot of Rupture and on Rupture before where I've used this kit and it's saved me. It's saved my team a couple of times. So I would say more than that. It's actually helped my team out quite a bit. And I've noticed that that whenever I've died using that kit, I've watched our game, my team suddenly just go from staying in the game somewhat to absolutely then getting destroyed. I've watched that happen several times, specifically on Rupture. I've watched it where I'll be on the bridge holding the bridge off, because the bridge is such a key point. You get your teammates spawning on C, that's so helpful. And I'll be holding off as long as I can, and then suddenly out of nowhere, the moment I died, then the whole game just goes complete to garbage. And usually that's why I have these high kill games too. Like people always wonder like how you have these high kill games. It's because I'll get games where I just have teammates. I don't have a team, you know, and so I'm like forced to like just slay constantly. And so that's why you end up having these high kill games. So, I mean, really, what you need for having like crazy high kill games is you need to have you need to be playing against a team that's challenging you completely. Because if you have a game where you're completely dominating, your whole team is. And that ends up where you are just completely have all the ticker marks and your score goes up completely to 1,000, and you know you're only played like a 10-minute game or whatever, you know. So not a 20 plus minute game where you normally need it if you're gonna have like these crazy high kill games. So, but as you can see there, I got blasted from behind from that light machine gun. He caught me up there from behind. I was trying my best to hold down D, but or to grab D from there. Yeah, they picked me off a couple times this game, so that made it a little bit rough, made it a little bit of a grind for me. Again, I'm just trying to grind it back. I mean, I know we didn't have that great of a start, so seeing what I can do. Again, I'm still keeping my mind. I got the 3-minute mark going on here, so keeping that in the back of my head. No, I can probably do a good push over here, and then when whatever comes out of it, if I die out of this push or if we're able to cap it, I then know I should generally be around a good enough time for me to pick up the kid again. So toss some smoke. Been using a lot of smoke again. Still on that. We'll see how much more I keep using that. I still don't feel like completely incorporated in my game, because there's some situations where I will throw that because I'm used to having the light grenade. And I'm used to like throwing the light grenade when I'm coming down. Like if I were to walk into a room and I don't know where guys are at, I'll throw the light grenade. See if I get any damage on anyone. It'll give me an idea where someone's at. And so I'll sometimes do that. I'll walk into a room and I'll throw it. And I'm throwing a smoke grenade. And I'm like, oh man, because it's like, I don't know, like sometimes that can be not benefiting me. Sometimes I just gave someone a bunch of cover too. So it's kind of a dicey situation. You know, I don't want to always just throw it right at someone. So, and then this situation here, I saw someone on my mini map. I'm not sure if the guy died or what, but I don't know. He wasn't there, so I was just like, okay, well, we're almost at the 3-minute mark, so I want to come back over here, grab this kid again, see if I can make another push. Now we got a full team on, so I feel like we can get ourselves back in the game here fairly. Again, I know it's the 3-minute mark. I don't know the actual time of it, and that's what's catching me off a little bit here. I want to be able to time it just right, so I'm able to just right when I need to roll up to it, I can roll up to it, because you really don't want to stay put even when you're hovering around this. So just I hate ever like staying put, even when you're using this kit as well too. Like if you're healing, you want to heal on the move on this. Keep dropping your healing crate and just keep moving. The moment you stay put on this thing, this is when you're just prone to just have someone chase over you and spot you. You know, they'll have you spotted and they'll run up to you and just flat out you know, bayonet charge you when they see you on the mini map, just, you know, staying put over there. So that's something you kind of want to keep aware of. Like I'm doing that right now just because I know that I just cleared out the whole area and everyone's going to spawn here, so I can do that right now. But if you have a bunch of guys around, that's probably like the last thing you want to do is stay put, because you want to keep moving around. So yeah, here's another situation here, man. It was rough. I almost forgot how rough this was with my trench raider kit this round. It would have been a crazy round, I think, if I didn't fall victim to those three deaths I had right there. That was a tough one. I just completely missed the guy. So I've had that happen a couple times too, just completely missing these people. So it's kind of been a new little phenomenon of mine where I've had the kit and I just swing and I miss. So yeah, that's rough. I totally forgot I had that. I totally forgot I had that one. I knew I had a couple of kind of tough deaths, but that was a really tough one because I know they're right there. But I've said this before, man. If there's one weapon you really want to take this thing out, you can use the Hell Regal or the or any basically of the light machine gun classes, and you can easily melt. You can easily melt the trench raider class pretty easily. So as you can see there, both of them were there, and yeah, I've taken them out a couple times before with the Hell Regal, because I feel pretty confident with that. It'll melt them pretty bad, especially if you're getting all headshots on them. So so yeah, it's just one of those are the two weapons that will take them out the most. So I always keep that in mind when I'm dealing with assault classes, light machine classes, that they'll most likely, I mean, light machine class doesn't even have a bayonet on it, so they're always going to shoot you. But when it comes down to when I see a medic class or a, you know, of course, or the scout class, I'm always, you know, aware that there's a high chance, especially with scout classes, they're going to end up charging me. Though there's still people out there who still think that they shoot me once with the with their, I mean, they do it so many times. People will shoot me with their rifle, and then they'll pull out their pistol and they think they're anywhere close to killing me, and they're like nowhere close. If you are a scout class, you want to spot me and then run around a corner, so I start charging at you, and then look on the mini map to see where I'm moving at, and then right when you see me come around the corner, turn around and bayonet charge me. It's really that easy. You could do that so much. You know, you could do that to a lot of players. I mean, for me, I'm always watching out for that, because I'm always thinking, like, what would I do? Like, what's someone try to do to take me out? But for so many people, you could do that so easily. So keep that in mind. I would just you know, hopefully put a bayonet on your gun if hopefully you're using that. See me running, just run around the corner, spot me, and then see me on the mini map, wait for me to run towards to you, and then right when I turn around the corner, just bayonet charge me. So 31-6 here. So yeah, basically I guess I go and just die one more time. So I guess I go on a pretty nice spree coming up here. Probably gonna grab the kit here pretty soon. It's gonna have to spawn up here again. We have C, so I'm moving over here to D, so it's a win-win for me. Again, I'm trying to focus on D and C mainly, because I've said before that when I get caught over here with the trenches, especially going far back to F and A, that the root is such a far area to be at, and if I can avoid it, I would like to, just because it just separates me so far from the map and from in play from people. And I mean, you know, unless it's your only option, your team's getting destroyed completely, you know, you got to grab it, of course, you know. But if I can do anything about it, I'd like to try to stay away from that, just because it just puts you such out of play, especially if you're using the elite class. You want to, you know, be in play. You want to be doing something with it. You're strong enough to take these, you know, cap these areas by yourself, you know. So yeah, they're going to, yep, they're spawning right here on my right side, so throw some smoke. Sometimes I'll actually throw smoke not on my spot, and I'll throw it a little farther away because it makes people think that I'm in that area. So I'll do that from time to time. That time I just threw it right on me, and yeah, now they're trying to get me. It's just how this goes, man. So I'm gonna bounce out over here. The nice little thing about me, at least, and I knew what I was doing here. What I was trying to do was, I was trying to just distract as much as I can, make it a battle. I knew it was gonna be one of those battles where I kill them all. I'm trying to cap it, then they run back at me again. They force me off the territory, and then I kill them all again, and then it's just a back and forth battle. And sometimes I'll do this as a strat to distract them far enough where my teammates could then focus on capping everything else, because I'm taking out like 4, 5, 6, 7 guys or something like that. You know, a squad or two are going after me, so you know, it's 1 against 8 or something like that. So I try doing stuff like that because it's you know, hopefully gives my team a little bit more advantage. You know, less people that they have to deal with. So that was kind of the strat what I'm doing over here. I'm trying to still figure out where exactly people are going to be at, and then I kind of realized halfway after I ran around here that this guy's probably up top somewhere. So I'm going to jump up over here because I know you can be up right there on the side there and be in the zone right there. So I was looking for that, and then I'm like, okay, there he is right in front of me. So so yeah, I'm just kind of again getting the areas where I kind of realize where they're going to be at. So you know, let's see, hopefully I can, I'm not sure actually if I get E or not over here, but that's kind of how I want the strat to be, to kind of push us just a little bit over the edge, because we needed 4 if we're going to get ourselves back in the game here, because we were, again, a little bit behind from the start, but that's what it was. I forgot what it was. They dropped a flare, and that's what screwed me. That's what, yeah, I had to pull out there. There's no way I was going to win that. Right when I saw the flare, I had already used my smoke, and I knew I was in trouble, so I just had to get out of there, because now they spotted me, they know where I'm at. I'm just not going to win that, so I had to pull all the way out. I'm not going to be able to, especially in what it wouldn't be as big of a deal if I wasn't so much in the trenches. When you're in the trenches, you have no room to like move, and you're stuck in these little narrow areas. They're gonna easily bayonet charge me. If I was over here by the ruins over in C, I might have tried it out a little bit more, because I'm okay with them. I'm okay with like hiding behind something and knowing that they can spot me and see me, knowing they're gonna try to bayonet charge, because I can move around easier. Not when it comes to the trenches. There's just no room. That's why I said it's just a different style to play on this map, because the trenches do play such a larger role than they've ever had in any of the maps on BF1 so far. So I'm adapting to that. I think it's gonna take a little bit of time, but eventually I'll get a hang of it and realize, especially when I understand more of the spawns, that'll help me out a lot more. To prevent that guy from at least from throwing his flare on me, which was a smart play on his part. But now I got my teammates with me, so now I'm gonna go back at it again. Unfortunately, we're still only doing that. We're only capping 3 territories at a time right now, which is not what I want to be doing. We gotta get to 4, and hold it down for a little bit, and not, here we go. We're gonna cap E, but we can't be losing any other territories while we're at this, which is not what I want to do, because now I got my whole team over here, and I was just like, I would rather not have that. So yeah, it's kind of unfortunate. This a little bit of this game here is not just a little bit off, just enough off where what I need. I'm just not having, which is kind of crazy, because I end up having still a 72-7 game. So it's, like I said, those are the games where are just kind of wild when you look back at them to realize I had a lot of things that just kind of didn't go my way. But we're still able to somewhat have a pretty crazy game here. But yeah, it's kind of crazy too, because I wasn't sure that maybe I thought maybe this map would be a little bit too big to like have see as many people and have like these really like intense like encounters. But really, it's still, as much as it's a 6 flag map. There's some instances where it still feels. It's not like I'm not feeling like I'm playing on Fort Devo, but it's still, I'm still running into a good amount of people still, and I'm not. It's BF1, right? It's Conquest. It's 32 for 32. You're gonna find someone. So, but yeah, I get pushed there again, and yeah, I was having a hard time too healing. I was dropping my heals. Like I said before, when you're healing, you want to be dropping while you're running. You don't want to get yourself stuck and stay put anywhere, because obviously right when that guy was right there, so he was hunting me the whole time. So the moment I would have stayed put, I would have been in trouble. But yeah, so that was again not what I wanted to do. Again, I was playing a little more conservative on this kit, and the reason why was because I knew I wanted to get ourselves back into the game here, and I was like, if anything, I do not want to lose this kit, because this could be our best chance to get me back into this game. Though I must say, using the tanks on this map can be pretty helpful, and I want to try some of that a little bit coming up here soon. I haven't used tanks much at all since this trench raider kit came out, but it might actually be I don't know. I've used it like twice, and I've had some good success with it. Just because, like I said, the trenches kind of don't do very well actually for this kit. This puts me in kind of a bad positioning, and yeah. So like right now, that guy's running down, and like if he's a scout class and he spots me, I'm dead. There's no way I'm gonna win through that. He's gonna bayonet charge me easily. So that's why I say these trenches are just not. They don't seem too ideal for me when I'm running around with this trench raider kit. But I feel like, yeah, something is an option to keep in the back. I've tried it once to try to get my team back in the game with it. I didn't have enough time, but yeah, I feel like, especially like the light tank, I've kind of been using that out a little bit on this map only, because I feel like using the artillery truck. I feel like it's too many, like the trenches. I feel like you're gonna get stuck in there, and I don't know. I just feel like there's no way to move down out there in the middle. Like it would be so hard to move with the artillery truck, and then I feel like the heavy tanks just, I don't know. I don't know. I think the heavy tanks could be better than using using artillery truck for sure, but not the I don't know. I feel like light tank this could be more ideal. Yeah, that was tough. Another death. Wow, I forgot about that one too. Yeah, I forgot about this whole round was just a rough round. Totally forgot about that. Well, there's my last death. Man, all of those were painful. So many of those could have been like avoided, but yeah, that's how it goes. That's how it goes. Right there, man, getting stabbed. That's why, again, that's why I try to say those trenches are rough. I should have had those shots, but you know, and I knew they were coming, but you know, that's how it goes. So back at it again, trying to keep it up, and probably thinking in the back of my mind, why did I not grab the tank at the beginning of this round? Because that might have helped me out a lot more. So yeah, there might be some videos in the future of me trying out some of the tank, probably. Once I feel like I've gotten some of the time down with the trench raider and getting a good feel for that more on this map, understand spawn stuff more. But yeah, I just kind of wish the flanker tank had an emergency heal on it, because you know, I like the was it the howitzer tank. I like using that because as an emergency heal, but I don't like the machine gun that's on it sometimes. I'd rather have the more powerful cannons and using that little light machine gun. So I'm always kind of torn between which ones I want to use. But it does have that emergency heal. Of course, when you have a heal on it for all the tanks if you get damaged really low and you can't move, or you can't move at all, you have that heal. But you always have a heal, a special like emergency, another type of heal that you can use when you have the howitzer tank. So that's why I always kind of feel like maybe I want to use that more. So I've tried using them both on this one. I found more luck using the flanker tank on this one right now. So, but like I said, I haven't tried it out that much. So we'll see what's up. Come up with that in the future. I'm not even concerned too much when I'm playing on this map to use mines on it, because it only have one tank on it. So I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna keep my dynamite, I guess, using on this one. I'm using the assault class because you know, my dynamite is enough to take out any tank. So I'll use dynamite and the little stuff that they have left over. I can use my anti-tank grenade, so I'm not really too concerned. Normally I wouldn't do that if I was playing on a map where there's more than one tank, because using dynamite is not sufficient enough to take out both tanks, and I'm always tank hunting. I think I find that probably still one of the most enjoyable things is tank hunting and taking out tanks and running up to a tank and laying a mine down and shooting the mines and watching it blow up and kill the tank, or even just laying mines on the map, and you know, you're doing work and suddenly out of nowhere, bam, you know, someone you see on your screen, you get a mine kill. It's some of the most satisfying things in the game still. So still love doing that, but not on this map. Don't really need to do it. And I mean, it might be some situations I could probably lay it and then swap. I could probably still find the spawns, a good place in the very beginning of the map where they are laying or where they're spawning their tank at, and where they're gonna like move over the bridge. And I could probably lay some mines there and swap to my other dynamite kit, but you know, we'll see what's up. So yeah, I was noticing even at this time right here, that's why I was a little bit I just had a little bit this unfortunate things. I didn't realize how many times I fortunately had died with this kit, but I waited there. I was like, am I waiting too long? Should I be pushing this, because we're all kind of screwed here? But it was already, I think, too late by now. Now that I'm looking at it, because I was kind of torn. I was like, should I be hovering over this, waiting for this again? But by looking at the screen here and seeing how many they had already capped already, it was just a little bit too late already. It was unfortunate. They had some solid kills on me with this kit, which got them just enough over the edge to take control completely of this game. So it was a little bit unfortunate. And plus the start of the game didn't help either too. So but I mean, you know, we got it back just a little bit, not as bad as it was at the very start, but just not enough. You know, it was just not enough to get it back. So I'm staying over here again. I'm gonna try again. I'm still trying to keep this Axiom strat up, where I'm gonna try to just keep them all over here as long as I can. Again, I was having a hard time healing this, because when I was dropping my heals, I was getting healed. But yeah, I'm gonna throw a bunch of, because I know they're all in here. Yeah, so I'm gonna throw a bunch of smoke. Just try to hear them from wherever they're at. I run into two of them, so I hear more of them coming. I think there's one like right in front of me or on top somewhere. But yeah, something I'll do is these like kamikaze mission based. I'll just throw a bunch of smoke and just see if I can just somehow kill somebody. Yeah, he's up top of me. That's where he was at. So that's what kind of makes it a little bit tough. These spawns are right up top, and I just hate jumping up. That mechanic there, when you have to jump up like that, oh, it's such a pain. Because It's just there's a lot of times where you'll jump up and you'll fall back down. It's really choppy of a mechanic. I really don't like it. But I actually had today too, where I jumped up and someone meleeed me and killed me with this kid as I was trying to jump up. Like, he was up top and he was able to melee me. I was like, wow. So yeah, again, it's rough. It's rough, man. But it's definitely still a very cool map, regardless of how it's still a learning curve for me. But it's definitely a cool map. Definitely try to bring it back. Wasn't able to do it quite there. Sometimes you know you can't win them all, right? So I mean, obviously no one wins them all, and this guy tried to throw Olympic charge the last second, so it was a good try there. But yeah, that's basically it there, guys. Just want to kind of show you guys a little bit more of this and show you a kind of a hardcore high kill game on this one, and more of the trench raider style, and just some more Nivelle maps, because I'll probably grind this out good for a good month, and because you got the other maps coming out, then we have the Name of the Czar coming out, and it's just like by the time that comes out, we'll see what this map is by then. So that's it again for you guys today. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys again later. Peace.